Let me tell you the type of player that the Lakers need. You know what the Lakers could really use right now? They can use a true big man down low to complement Anthony Davis. They can use a player that's basically a walking double-double every single game, who some would say is having arguably his best season so far in his career. Somebody that's been a starter for the past 3-4 years on another competitive team. Somebody that last night, if I looked at those stats right, had 21 points, 19 rebounds, and outplayed Anthony Davis. I don't know if you guys feel the same way about this the way I feel. But every single time I see Ivica Zubac, I just got all these trade scenarios going in. I think of Mike Muscala. I think of what the hell was Magic Johnson doing? Can somebody please help me understand just how bad of a trade that was? And that every time we play every time we play the Clippers, I look at Zubac, or maybe there's another game on and he's on TNT or whatever the case is. I'm looking at this guy and I'm like, that's exactly what the Lakers need. Here's what's going to happen before February 6th. I think the Lakers are going to make a move. I think there's a good chance they're going to go get another big. The big that they get is not going to be as good as Ivica Zubac. Is not going to be as dependable as Ivica Zubac. And they're going to have to go spend draft capital to go get that player. They had that player. I know a lot has happened since that trade. I completely understand it. But does somebody want to explain to me what the hell the Lakers were thinking when they made that trade? And last night, watching the Lakers and the Clippers, every time that guy grabbed an offensive rebound, which I think he had 8 offensive rebounds, every time he grabbed something off the glass, every time he had a block, he had 3 blocks last night as well. Every time he contested somebody around the basket, every time he got a bucket, he got a putback, whatever the case is, every time he did something, I just think I'm sitting there, I'm like, that's exactly what the Lakers need. And the Lakers actually drafted that player. That was their player. Just an absurd trade that is still haunting the Lakers today. And I know I'm not the first one to sit here and say that trade was not a good one, nor is that trade, that trade continues to haunt the Lakers. But I'm watching that game last night, and it's like they're so desperate for that type of player. The Lakers have kind of tried playing some of these Jackson Hayes, Anthony Davis. They're kind of trying a little bit bigger of a combination. And maybe this is going to be the model of what the Lakers try to go get out there in the trade market. But my God, was that a just awful, awful trade for the Lakers that still haunts them to this day, that they're still going to have to go out and try to figure out and trade out draft capital in order to get a player that's not as good as that player. It was such a bad trade. All right, let's see what we got here. Let's look at a couple of these here. And listen, we could, it's going to happen. I mean, you're going to make bad trades, period. There's going to be bad trades. I was reading something last night. I was actually during the game, while the game was going on, I decided, I'm like, I need the details again. Give me all the details again of this trade, the trade that the Lakers made when they traded him away. And the article said one of the worst trades in Lakers history. And it starts going through. It's like, listen, it's not as bad as this trade when the Nets, I think, traded for, KG and Paul Pierce. And then the draft capital that they got basically drafted the Boston Celtics, Tatum and Brown. I know there are much worse trades and everything else, but I still don't understand what the hell the purpose of that trade was. I still have no idea what the point of that trade was. And here's the bigger problem. When it happened, there were a lot of people like clearly right out the gate, like, I think Lakers are going to regret that one. I think they are. And listen, I know people are putting here Magic, and I'm the one that went off on Magic as well. Magic's a winner, period. I mean, his freaking Commanders are in the NFC Championship game now. You're going to have L's with wins. That just comes with the territory. But you cannot tell me that you're not looking at that trade. And every time you see freaking Ivica Zubac, every time you see that player, you're saying to yourself, My God, that guy would have been a perfect fit for the Lakers. It's exactly what they need, and he's nowhere to be found. All right, let's take a look at some of the comments, and then we'll keep this thing moving. Alan, go down list of West top teams Reeves Rui starts for, please. Teams that he starts for, Reeves and Rui. Now, listen, I get it. There's in a perfect world, you got Austin Reeves as your sixth or coming off the bench as your sixth man. In a perfect world, who knows? Maybe when Vando does come back, Rui is going to come off the bench. I got no idea. Maybe Dorian Finney-Smith takes his spot. I don't disagree that the Lakers, talent-wise, I don't think anybody is questioning that. But it is the position that they're in. Let me get another one in these in. He'd have put Butler at point forward and put Ware and Bam at 5 and 4. Ware had 25 and 11. Twin bigs is the moves Lakers get with the damn program. With the dang program. Okay, Northborough, thank you for the super. Yeah, I watching Ware in that Lakers-Miami game. Who was it? I think it was Stu Lance. Could not stop complimenting that guy. Could not stop complimenting that guy. AD doesn't look healthy either. AD got outplayed yesterday by Ivica Zubac. Got outplayed. Go look at those numbers and then just watch the game. He got outplayed. If you told me Lakers were going to lose the battle between Anthony Davis and obviously between AD and Ivica Zubac, you're not winning that game. That's exactly what happened. All right, let's switch gears here for a quick second. Let me see here. Did I get everybody? Sorta. Do the Lakers have the same roster by February 6th? They do not have the same roster by February 6th. You just can't. I mean, especially this quote that LeBron just threw out there too. You just can't. It's not LeBron was not mixing his words when he's talking about the construction of the roster. They don't have the same. And listen, I don't think Pelinka's sitting back and saying, I think the roster's great. I don't think we have to make any moves. It's just going to be, what are they willing to give up in order to make the right move? Let me get another one here. John, thank you for the super. John Drake, there isn't one player worth a first, but stack a few players together. Use our first-round picks like draft picks, Matisse, Williams, and Sharp. Trying to go after some of these, I think Blazer players is what I think you're referring to. Yeah, Robert Williams, that name's been associated with the Lakers for a while. There have been a lot of these, a lot of names that have been associated with a lot of bigs. I mean, I feel like Miles Turner's played for the Lakers. I feel like Jonas Valanciunas has played for the Lakers. So they've been throwing these names around for a while. Okay. I'm going to come back to some of these Laker comments. I'm going to come back to them. I mean, I'm already 40 in. I want to get to there's so many other stuff going on here. So let me jump back into some of these Laker comments. Let me grab this one real quick here. Slee, Lakers have changed players and coaches. Only constants have been LeBron and AD. Shouldn't we see the issues by now? Maybe it's them. Yeah, I think I can make an argument, too, that it was LeBron and AD that also got to the Western Conference Finals. I think it's a combination of you got to have the right role players. Let me give you an example. LeBron and AD won a chip together, but look how good all the other players were. Now, granted, it was 5 years ago, so let's stop pretending like it wasn't, a long time ago. That's a long time, especially for LeBron and what he was back then and what he is today. He was 35 back then, but look how good those role players were. I saw Danny Green. I saw him yesterday. He was in the media room. Not 100% sure what he's covering, or maybe he's just watching the game. I'm not 100% sure, but he was at the media room or in the media room. And you kind of look back at that team. They had Kuzma, they had KCP, they had Danny Green, they had JaVale McGee, they had Dwight Howard, they had Rajon Rondo. I mean, that team was stacked. They had J.R. Smith. I'm probably missing a couple of guys. I think Avery Bradley was on that team as well. They were stacked. You knew 3-4 guys were stepping up every single game. It didn't really matter which 3-4, but you knew 3-4 were going to step up. And you clearly don't have that now with the Lakers. I appreciate all the supers. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm going to get to some of the other comments as well. Oh, that's right. Alex Caruso. Alex Caruso. That team was just stacked. So they had a lot of players that were obviously contributing. All right, if you enjoyed this clip and you want more, just subscribe to the channel. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. is the Sliwa Show. And then after every Lakers game, post-game show right here.